You can take the couch. Your sister gets the guest house, Mom said, without even looking at me. I just landed after a red-eye flight. My luggage was still in the trunk. My back still sore from paying their mortgage. But sure, the couch. That was 6 months ago. Tonight, the lights were low. The chandeliers glowed like they knew a secret. And the mayor, tux pressed, voice booming, stepped up to the podium. Please welcome, he said, adjusting the mic. Our youngest multimillionaire tycoon, the woman behind the skyline's newest legacy. The crowd turned as one. Mom lifted her wine, then dropped it. The glass shattered. My sister froze. Mouth parted. Still. Pale. Because the woman walking toward the stage, wearing the emerald gown they said I couldn't afford, was me, standing in the ballroom of a house I owned. My name is Rain. And if you think you know how this ends, stay tuned. What happens when the girl they left on the couch buys the whole damn living room? I didn't want revenge. I wanted respect. But when they made it clear I didn't belong, I stopped asking. Mom always called my startup that little internet thing. Dad never asked what I did, just what I could send. And my sister? She wore entitlement like perfume. But I learned early. Being underestimated is a weapon. And I sharpened it every time they looked through me. So when the city awarded me Young Visionary of the Year, I made sure the gala was held in the estate I bought 2 months ago. Quietly. In cash. The same estate where my parents had once banned me from hosting parties. Now, my name echoed through the marble halls. The guests stood for me. And my family? They were seated, in silence. But that was just the opening act. Because they hadn't seen the tribute video yet. And they had no idea whose names I'd removed from the foundation's donor wall. The tribute video began. Soft piano. Drone footage. My old college. The first coffee shop where I coded. The narrator's voice. She started with $3.12 and a library card. The audience leaned in. Cameras hovered. Every screen showed my name, Rain Delacroix. Meanwhile, my sister, Ava, sank lower in her seat. She used to mock my spreadsheets. Now her LinkedIn said freelance lifestyle advisor. Mom clutched her pearls like prayer beads. Dad sat frozen. The last time I saw that look was when he lost a poker game in Cabo. Then came the next slide. Property redevelopment partner, Delacroix Estates. The address flashed. The same estate we were standing in. Their estate. Until I bought it. Until I gave them a 30-day grace period to vacate, and they ignored it. They thought I was bluffing. But I wasn't bluffing. I was building. A new elevator had been installed. The wine cellar was restocked with French imports. Their portraits were taken down. My art hung in their place. The mayor raised his glass. To vision. To resilience. To rain. The crowd toasted. I stayed still. Ava's voice reached me from 2 tables away. She didn't tell us she was the buyer. Wrong. I had. Through an anonymous LLC. 3 times. They ignored the letters. Said it was scam mail. So I waited. Waited until the papers were signed. Until the cameras were rolling. Until the whole city saw the new plaque by the main gates. Delacroix Estate, reimagined. Now, Mom couldn't even find the guest bathroom. I stood at the top of the grand staircase, looking down at the people who told me I wasn't built for greatness. And suddenly, the couch didn't feel so far away. Only this time. I wasn't lying on it. They were. The night ended in flashbulbs and polite applause. But behind the velvet curtains, the tension snapped like a wire under strain. Mom cornered me near the valet booth. Her tone was a mix of wounded pride and Chardonnay. Why didn't you tell us that this was you? I looked her in the eye. I did. She blinked. No, I mean really tell us. You mean warn you, I said. So you could lie, spin it, or make me feel guilty for growing. Ava stomped up behind her, heels clicking too fast. Okay, Rain, congrats on your little show. But this isn't your story to hijack. That made me pause. Because for years, they made me feel like I didn't belong in their story. I was the afterthought. The backup sibling. The one who ate last, slept on floors, and paid full rent when they called it family contribution. So I stepped closer. I didn't hijack the story, I said quietly. I just started writing my own chapter. And unfortunately for you, it's sold out. They stood frozen, just like they had in that ballroom. Only this time, there was no audience. I turned and got in my car. The same one they used to tease me about when it rattled and coughed down their driveway. Now it purred, blacked out, polished, leased under my holding company. I pulled away without another word. But I wasn't done. The next morning, I scheduled a delivery to their apartment. A modest 2-bedroom I'd rented for them 6 weeks ago, once the eviction was legally finalized. Inside the package, a couch, a printed copy of my gala speech, and a key, with a note. This time, the couch is yours. Enjoy the view, it's all you're getting. They didn't respond. But I saw Mom repost an old baby photo of me later that week. Caption, so proud of our Rain. Always knew she'd shine. History rewritten in real time. But I kept screenshots of the texts, the exclusions, the rent receipts, the birthdays they missed because Ava had a thing. And now I had a platform. And I wasn't done using it. The podcast invite came a week later. Women Who Build Empires, 2.3 million subscribers. They wanted to feature me. I agreed. Not because I needed more exposure, but because stories matter and mine had always been buried under theirs. The host leaned in mid-interview, her voice velvet smooth. So, Rain, what fueled your rise? I paused, then said, rejection, humiliation, being the backup plan or not even part of the plan. She smiled like she knew. And then I told the couch story. Verbatim. Her eyes widened. The team behind the glass lost it, gasps, laughter, someone whispered, damn. That clip? 3.2 million views by morning. Comments rolled in like thunder. The audacity of giving her the couch? She turned pain into power. Respect. Tag someone who underestimated you and thank them. A week later, I launched the Couch Fund. A startup grant for women founders who were always given less. Couches. Closets. Corners. But who were building anyway? We got over 8,000 applicants in 3 days. The press jumped on it. And when Forbes called me the architect of the rebuild era, I smiled. Because I'd rebuilt everything. From the dust they left me in. Then came the phone call. Blocked number. But I knew the voice. Rain, it's Dad. Silence. Then, I saw the podcast. Look, we were wrong. I was wrong. But you can't just erase us. I said nothing. You're still our daughter. I waited. Then replied, you only say that when I'm winning. Click. No anger. No tears. Just closure. Delivered like a signature at the end of a lease. That night, Ava posted an Instagram story. A mirror selfie with the caption. Some of us take the high road. I reshared it. Added just 2 words. Some of us build it. And the internet? Ate it up. Ava tried damage control. She called a few PR friends, spun up a blog post titled, Why My Sister's Success Inspires Me. She used words like legacy and empowerment. As if she hadn't once said, Rain's good with laptops, but she's not really a leader. Nice try. But people don't forget viral humiliation. Especially not when the receipts live online forever. I didn't clap back. Didn't post a reply. I let the silence eat at her louder than any statement could. Instead, I focused on the Couch Fund. The finalists were announced in a live ceremony. We gave out $500,000 in seed money. The final recipient? A 21-year-old Black woman from Chicago who built an app from a laundromat Wi-Fi connection. She cried as I handed her the check. That night, Forbes ran the headline. From couch to queenmaker, Rain Delacroix is building an army. Mom sent a group text. Mom, proud of you, honey. Can we talk? Ava, same. Dinner. I ignored it. But I wasn't cruel. I just wasn't their daughter anymore. Not the one they'd boxed into background noise. Instead, I sent them each a framed photo. Me, standing on the gala stage. The mayor behind me. Their faces in the front row stunned, small, and blurred by the lights. The plaque underneath read, Respect isn't owed. It's earned. No card. No return address. Just impact. A few days later, I heard from my lawyer. Apparently, Ava had tried trademarking her name for a motivational brand. Unfortunately, it sounded too close to Delacroix Ventures, which I'd already protected in every class. The application? Rejected. She posted about it, crying on Instagram. Some people just want to gatekeep growth. But no, I wasn't gatekeeping. I was gay building. And I had the keys now. The real twist? I didn't build Delacroix Ventures alone. The silent co-founder was someone no one expected. Not a tech bro. Not a college friend. Not a VC in a blazer. It was my godmother, Aunt Jules. The one they'd all dismissed as eccentric. The woman who gave me my first computer at 9. The only person who called on my birthdays, even when my family forgot. She'd quietly invested $20,000 into my Beta Model 5 years ago. Never asked for a dime back. Now, she owned 22% of the company. And I made sure her name was added to the gala's donor wall in gold. Right below mine. Mom saw it on a follow-up post. Her comment. Didn't realize Jules was so involved. We should catch up. Translation. We smell money. But Jules wasn't interested in reunions. She had a wine garden and 2 bulldogs named Tesla and Oprah. And she never forgot. She called you dead weight, Rain, Jules reminded me. Don't let nostalgia kill your clarity. She was right. So I stayed the course. Focused forward. We broke ground on our new headquarters, a glass-paneled monument downtown. Inside the lobby? A custom art installation. A leather couch. Split clean down the center. Welded with steel. Underneath, a plaque. For the ones they tried to seat in silence. The photo went viral before construction even finished. And suddenly, I wasn't just a founder. I was a symbol. Interviews flooded in. Speaking requests. Partnerships. One headline read, Rain doesn't just break ceilings. She builds the next floor. That week, Ava posted a subtweet. Some people think success means isolation. But family matters most. Funny. Family didn't matter when they gave me the couch. Now that I own the damn building, they wanted keys. Too late. Because I wasn't building a reunion. I was building an empire. And the foundation? Was every insult they whispered when they thought I couldn't hear. The award was called the Phoenix Grant. A $1 million honor given once a year to someone who'd risen from public dismissal to national impact. This year, they chose me. The ceremony was broadcast live. Red carpet. White gowns. My acceptance speech, carefully memorized. But what I said, that wasn't on the teleprompter. I was raised in a house where silence was louder than support, I began. Where success was something borrowed, never believed in. I paused. And then I looked straight into the camera. Tonight, I want to thank the people who gave me the couch. Because it taught me to stand on my own. The audience froze. Some clapped. Others just sat there, absorbing it like a slow burn. The shot panned briefly to Ava in the 3rd row. Tight smile. Red eyes. She wasn't nominated. She never had been. After the show, I slipped into the back hallway. No press. No entourage. That's when I heard heels fast, frustrated. It was Mom. You didn't have to humiliate us on live TV, Rain. I turned slowly. Funny. I don't remember you worrying about my humiliation. She blinked. But I kept going. You gave her the guest house. I paid the mortgage. You handed me a couch, then acted like that was love. No, that was convenience. She started to cry. Tried to reach for my hand. But I didn't flinch. Because grief isn't always about death. Sometimes, it's about the family you finally admit will never love you the right way. I walked away. Got into my car. Told the driver. Home. Not the couch. Not their guest house. Not even the estate. My home. A glass-walled penthouse overlooking the city I once watched from the shadows. Inside, on my bookshelf, sat a framed quote. When they seat you low, stand taller. Below it? The couch key they gave me encased in gold. Not to honor them, but to remind me. The best stories don't start at the top. They start on the floor. It happened on a Sunday. Quiet, like most power shifts. I was walking through Delacroix HQ, barefoot, coffee in hand, reviewing a new proposal from a startup I'd backed. That's when the front desk called. There's a woman here asking for you. Says she's your sister. Ava. I told them to send her up. She walked into my office, not dressed for Instagram, no filters, no front. Just Ava. Raw. Small. I lost the apartment, she said softly. Her voice cracked. I tried to start my own thing. No one believed in me. I looked at her. The same girl who once snatched my blouse before a college interview. The one who used my car, my card, my ideas, and gave me crumbs. Now, she needed me. But I didn't say yes. Didn't say no. I said, what do you have to offer? She blinked. What? You want help? That's fine. But we don't do handouts here. We do work. Real work. Her face hardened. But I'm your sister. And I was your backup plan, I said. She didn't reply. She left quietly. And I let her go, not out of cruelty, but clarity. Because healing doesn't mean reopening doors. It means locking the ones that nearly destroyed you. Later that week, I gave a TED Talk. The final slide behind me? A single image. A couch. Tattered. Empty. Then my voice, echoing through the silence. You don't have to start with a throne. Just start. Sit in the smallest space and build from there. Standing ovation. Afterward, someone asked if I regretted how public it all became. I smiled. Not at all, I said. They made my pain public. I made my power louder. That night, I went home, pulled off my heels, watched the skyline from my balcony, and poured a glass of wine to toast the girl they tried to forget. Because she remembered everything, and she turned it into gold.